Now that you have laid the foundation with post-secondary transition assessments, you are ready to help your students develop their post-secondary goals. Measurable post-secondary goals in the area of education, employment, and independent living is the next step in the process. This cartoon may remind you of many young students you work with who want to be a famous athlete or a rock star for their post-secondary goal. You can see why post-secondary transition assessments are so important to help our students explore their interests and make connections between their strengths and the various career areas available to them. Let's begin by looking at the breakdown to write compliant post-secondary goals, which we will refer to as PSGs. PSGs are measurable goals for the future updated annually, written as the after high school target, based on post-secondary transition assessment information and student interests, and most likely to change and become more refined as the student ages. This is a snapshot of the USBE Model Transition Plan form, along with a link and QR code to the form. The verbiage reminds you of what is required in a PSG. Note that the goal for post-secondary independent living includes the Considered Not Needed checkbox. Before checking that box, however, the IEP team should give serious consideration to what supports the idea that the student would not need a goal in independent living. In the next slide, we will address the basis for decision item. Remember to keep in mind that your IEP platform may look slightly different, but will include the same components to the plan for compliance. Remember that an independent living goal is not required for compliance. If the team decides there is basis for not developing an independent living goal, the checkbox Considered Not Needed is required. The basis for decision area is also not required. However, teams are strongly encouraged to input the reason why the student would not need an independent living goal. Doing so makes the plan more defensible if there were ever a challenge about why the student did not have an independent living goal. The example would be defensible since the team has data that justify the team's decision to not include an independent living goal. The non-example would not be defensible if there was a complaint because it doesn't say what evidence was considered to arrive at that decision. Effective practice is to consider an independent living goal for all students, regardless of the severity of their disability and considering the unique needs of each student. Now we will outline how to write compliant post-secondary goals. Beginning at age 14, a student's IEP must have at least 2 PSGs, one for education or training and one for employment, and, where appropriate, one goal for independent living. The goals must include the following: active language, state that it will occur after the student leaves school and be updated annually. And here's an example. After high school, Juan will attend Salt Lake Community College, majoring in accounting. This goal contains active language, will attend, and states when it will occur after high school. The date on the IEP will show if it has been updated annually. When writing PSGs with students, consider these definitions for post-secondary education and training: 4-year college university, technical college, 2-year college, military, specific vocational career field, vocational training program, apprenticeship, internship, paid or unpaid, on-the-job training, and digital learning. An education training goal can be to attend college, but it can also be other types of further training as listed here. When writing PSGs for students, consider these definitions for employment: competitive employment, supported employment, customized employment, self-employed, and family business. Employment goals can include self-employment and supported employment. When writing PSGs for students, consider these definitions for independent living. Independent living goals are not just about where the student will physically live after high school, but can be written to target any one of these skills needed for adult living. Considering things like healthcare, transportation, assistive technology, participation in the community, and interpersonal skills are some examples of areas in which the student may need an independent living goal. What are appropriate measurable post-secondary goals? As you help your student develop those goals, consider these questions. Can the goals be counted? Remember, there must be at least 2 goals, 1 in each required area. Does the goal have active language? Student will followed by a verb. Will the goals occur after the student leaves school? So looking 2 to 3 years out, can you say yes or no that the student has achieved the goal? Are the goals appropriate for the student? And have the goals been updated? Here is one way you can write post-secondary goals. This template includes the compliant components for writing PSGs, but you can write the after high school statement at the end of the goal as well. There are many ways to write compliant goals, and this template is a guide to help you in developing those goals. Let's look at several examples. These are examples of compliant post-secondary goals. After graduation from high school, Maria will be enrolled in cooking class at the Utah Independent Living Center. Nate shall attend Wolverines Elevated at UVU to study art and design after he graduates high school. After post-high services, I will work in the music industry with the support of a job coach. After graduation, Peter is going to work part-time in the construction industry. After exiting post-high services, Lori will independently make her own lunch each day. These are examples of goals that do not meet compliance. Can you explain why they are non-compliant? Pedro wants to work with animals either at a shelter or vet office. Want is not measurable. Also, it doesn't say when the goal will happen. After high school, Sue will learn vocational skills in a post-high program. Post-high programs are not after the student exits the school system. The fall after graduation from high school, Allison plans to enroll in Aggie's Elevated. So plans or planning something is not measurable. After high school, Jane should learn to dress herself. Should is also not measurable. So you've now seen examples of compliant and non-compliant post-secondary goals. Let's hear from Jason on what he has learned about developing his post-secondary goals.